Welcome class, how are you all? Today we are going to touch on the last topic of this chapter, that is revisiting rational numbers and their decimal expansion. Here we are going to talk about the properties of the rational numbers and about the types of decimal expansion they have. Plus we are going to talk about the three theorems, and related to these three theorems we are going to work on our exercise 1.4. So let us start with our explanation. In rational numbers, we all have studied that rational numbers can be represented in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0. But when these p and q are p upon q is solved, then we have the decimal expansion of it, and there are two types of decimal expansions of rational numbers. Firstly, either they are terminating, that means that they will leave a remainder 0 after a certain point, or they are non-terminating, repeating. That means they will not terminate, they will not stop, but the numbers will get repeated, or there will be a sort of pattern where it will keep on going but it will not terminate. So based on these two characteristics of rational numbers, on their decimal expansion, we have the three theorems. Let us look at the first theorem. Now, Theorem 1.5 says, let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. That means x is a type of rational number whose decimal will stop at a certain point. The expansion will stop at a certain point, and the remainder will be a 0. Then x can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-prime numbers, and the prime factorization of q, that means the denominator, is written in the form of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, where n and m are non-negative integers. Now you all must be wondering that if it is in the form of p by q, then this q, how is it related to the form of 2 to the power n and 5 to the power n? That means they are trying to say that the denominator, that is q, it is in the form of 10 or the powers of 10, isn't it? Suppose 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 3, and so on. If you see, if I take the example of 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 2 is what? 100. Now if I do the prime factorization of 100, what will I get? 2 50s are 100, 2 25s are 50, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5. That means 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 5 to the power 2. So can you see it is coming in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. In this case, n is 2 and m is also 2. So this is how x can be x is a rational number whose the decimal expansion terminates. That means it will stop at a certain point. Now suppose we take an example, say 73 upon 100. Okay, if I am taking an example, say 73 upon 100. Now, then we have to take the decimal point. So this will be 730, right? Now, 100 sevens as 700. What are we left with? 30. Decimal is also already placed. So we write over here 0 automatically. 100 threes are 300. Can you see over here? After a certain point, the expansion has stopped. So 73 upon 100, we can write it as 0.73. You can see over here that the decimal over here is a terminating one. Okay. Now suppose in case, what happens if the denominator is not in the form of 10 to the power something. Alright, suppose if I have a number, say 3 by 8. I have a number 3 by 8, and to convert this 8 in 10 to the power of something, 10 to the power of something, what do we have to do? Firstly, we will do the prime factorization of the denominator, and that if you have to check whether this will come in the form of 2 into 5, 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, or it will just simply come 2 to the power something, or simply 5 to the power something, and like that we have to multiply something over here and in the numerator as well, so that the denominator, that is the q, is in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. So let us see two or three examples based on these questions. Now, the example Let us take 3 upon 8. Now the prime factorization of 8 is what? 2 fours are, 2 twos are, 2 ones are. That means 2 to the power 3. So we can write this as 3 upon 2 to the power 3. Now we have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator with number 5 raised to the power n. N over here, that means this n over here should be in a particular way that the the denominator we get it in terms of 10 to the power something. Now this is 8. If I multiply 8 by just 5, that means 5 to the power 1, what we will get? 8 5s are, we will get 40. That will not be in the terms of 10 to the power. Now next number, if I take 5 squared, that means 8 multiplied by 25. Let us check 25 multiplied by 8. 8 multiplied by 5. 8 5s is 40. 8 2s are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this is in the form of 200, right? Next we have 5 to the power 3, that is 125 into 8. So we get 8 5s are 40. 8 2s are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 1s are 8, 9, 10. Here you get it in the form of 10 to the power something. Here we have 1000. This can be written in the form of 10 to the power 3. Right. So that means 125. What number we need over here? 125. That means 5 to the power 3. Here also we will multiply it with 5 to the power 3. So over here the denominator we are getting 10 to the power 3, isn't it? 2 5s are 10 to the power 3 and 3 multiplied by 125. 125 multiplied by 3, what we will get? 3 5s are 15, 3 2s are 6 7, 3 1s are 3, 375. So 375 divided by 1000, we will get 0.375. This proves that the theorem over here is applicable, that x is a rational number. X we have taken 3 upon 8. Whose decimal expansion terminates. Over here the decimal expansion is terminating, that means it ends after a certain decimal number. The next can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Here we have written number 8 as 2 multiplied 2 to the power 3 and 5 to the power 3 in the form of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, where n and m are non-negative integers. Is that clear? So with this we complete the theorem that over here x is a rational number and whose decimal expansion is terminating. And this is the method that if any question is given in the form of p by q, where q is not written in any form of 10 raised to any power, then you can always convert it like this and then solve the sum. Okay, this will be more clear when we will do the exercise. So let us move on to the next theorem. Now our next theorem is, let x be equal to p by q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 to the power n and 5 to the power n, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which terminates. This is just the opposite of theorem 1.5. Here let p by q, there it is already given that q is already in the form of 2 to the power n and 5 into 5 to the power n. And if q is in the form of this thing, then the decimal expansion is always terminating. So let us understand with the help of an example. Suppose first of all let us decide what will be q. Now this p upon q is a rational number and q is in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Let us take 2 to the power, let us say 2 multiplied by 5 to the power 1. Okay, and in the numerator let us take any number, say 12. Okay, PV 12. So this is 12 upon 2 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 1. Now 12 upon 2 to the power 2 is what? 4. 5 to the power 1 is what? 5. So this comes 12 upon 20. Now 12 upon 20, don't worry children, this is still in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Right? Now to solve this, let us divide this number. 12, 20. Now 12 is less than 20, so we need to have a decimal. So this will be 0.0 will come here. Now 20 watts are 120. 120. So over here we know 2 6 is 12. So over here we will get 20 6 are 120, right? 0 0 0. Thus with the help of example we get the answer as 0.6, which is a terminating decimal expansion. Is that clear, children? This is just the opposite of theorem 1.5. Over here it is already given that q is in the form of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n, and if this is already given, then that means the decimal expansion will be terminating. I hope this is clear with this example. Let us move on to the next theorem, which says that the decimal expansion is non-terminating repeating. Now, the next theorem says, let x be p by q, where p and q are co-primes, and it be a rational number. That means x is a rational number, such that the prime factorization of q, that means the denominator, is not in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, where n and m are non-negative integers. Now, if q is not in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, then the decimal expansion of x, it will be non-terminating, repeating or recurring. That means the numbers will repeat, or if there will be some sort of pattern. Now, through theorem 1.5 and 1.6, it was clear that if x is a rational number and it is written in the form of p upon q, then the q is in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. So the decimal expansion will always be terminating. But now in this case, the decimal expansion is recurring or non-terminating, repeating. That means it is not in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Let us understand this with the help of one example. Say 1 upon 7. Now if I want to divide 1 by 7, let us see. We have the number 1 and then we have 7. Now naturally 1 is less than 7, so we have to take the decimal. 0 point, this becomes 0, 7 ones are 7. We have 10 minus 7, 3. Then this leaves a remainder 3. Let us put 0 over here. 7 fours are 28. 30 minus 28, we get 2. Right? Again, remainder is what? 2. Let us take another 0. And let us see if this time the decimal expansion is terminating or not. We will have 7 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21. So 7 2s are 14. 20 minus 14 is what? 6. Again, it is not, terminating. Let us take 0 over here. 7 8s are 56. 7 9s are 63. So 7 8s are 56. 60 minus 56 will give us 4. Add a 0 over here. Then we have 7 5s are 35. 7 6 are 42. So 7 5s are 35. 40 minus 35 is 5. Put a 0 over here. 7 7s are 49. 50 minus 49, 1 coming over here. Then 0. Then again 7 1s are 7. This gives us 3. Now again if I will write, if 3 is over here, then what we will do, we will put 0. Then we will get again 2. So you see, this is repeating. Right, 0.142857, this is repeating. That means it will go on and on, the division will go on and it will never stop. So this is known as non-terminating repeating. Why? Because if you see the denominator, if you see this denominator, it is written, rational number is written in the form of p by q, right? And we have also studied the properties of the decimal expansion, that either it will be terminating or it will be non-terminating repeating. Now for the terminating, we have seen those two theorems. Now for the non-terminating, this is the theorem. These both are co-prime numbers, isn't it? Their HCF is what? 1 only. But this number 7, it cannot be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. That is why questions of these type or numbers of these type, which are written in the form of p by q, which is written in the form of p by q, where q cannot be written in the form of 2 to the power n or 5 to the power n, the decimal expansion will be non-terminating and repeating. This is another example. This is one example over here. Now 0.14258571. Again, after 1, the number will be repeated 42857 and it will go on and on. Is that clear? Let us take another example. Say let us say 1 by 3. Let us take 1 by 3. If I take 1 by 3 over here, 1 is getting divided by 3. So 0.33 are 9. 10 minus 9, 1. Again put 0. 3 3s are 9. 10 minus 9, 1. 0 will come over here. 3 3s are 9. And this will go on repeating. So over here, which number is non-terminating repeating? 0.3333. So 0.3 bar. That means bar means what, children? This will not stop. This will go on repeating. Is that clear? I hope with these two examples the theorem is clear. Let us move on to the exercise, children. Alright, let us start with exercise 1.4. The question is, without actually performing the long division, state whether the following rational numbers will have a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. For that, we are only going to see about the denominator. That means whenever the rational numbers are written in the form of p by q, we are going to check whether q is written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, or only 2 to the power n, or only 5 to the power n. If the denominator or the q satisfies any of these three criteria, that means they will have a terminating decimal expansion, and if it doesn't, then it will have a non-terminating expansion. Is that clear? So let us start with the first one, children. 13 upon 325. So the prime factorization of this 3125, what we will have? 3125. Will it go by 3? Let us check first. 5 plus 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it will go with 5 only. 5, 6 are 30, 5, 2s are 10, 11, 12, carry 2, 5, 5s are 25. 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25, then 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5. So it is coming in the form of, Q is coming in the form of 5 to the power, what will be the power? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to the power 5. So over here, the denominator is coming in the form of 5 to the power 5. Yes, this will be a terminating decimal expansion. Okay. The decimal expansion will be terminating for the first one. Now next we move on to the third question. In the third question, Q is 455. Okay, let us see the prime factorization of 455. Will it go with 3? 3, 5, 5, 10, 14. No, it will not go with 3. Sorry, this is prime factorization, right? Alright. This goes as 5 9s are 45. 5 1s are 5. Alright, now 91. Is 91 a prime number? From the table of 2 to 100, if you use from numbers to 1 to 100, if you see 91, will it go by 7? Let us see, will it go by 7 or not? 7 1s are 7, 8 9, yes, it will go with 7. 7 1s are 7, 8 9, 7 3s are 13, 1s are. Now children, the three criteria which I gave you, either it should be 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, or only 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Other than these, if there are any other numbers in the prime factorization, that means over here this can be written as 5 to the power 1, 7 to the power 1, 13 to the power 1. But the criteria should have been either with 5 to the power n, 2 to the power n should be there, or only 5 to the power n. But over here, other than 5, we have 7 and 13 also. Therefore, this number is non-terminating. This number is non-terminating. Is that clear? This number is non-terminating. So copy this much down, then we will move on to the next one. Now next we move on to the 6th and the 7th one. Children, the 6th question is 23 upon 2 to the power 3. into 5 to the power 2. Now do we actually have to solve this? No. You can already see that q is already in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. That is, q is already in the form of 2 to the power 3, 5 to the power 2. So yes, this will have a terminating decimal expansion. Okay. Next we move on to the number 129 upon 2 to the power 2, 5 to the power 7, 7 to the power 5. We know the criteria. Either q should be 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, or for the terminating one, or either it should be only 2 to the power n or 5 to the power n. But over here this is in the form of 2 to the power 2, 5 to the power 7, but it is also having 7 to the power 5. So over here this will have a non-terminating decimal expansion. So over here this rational number is non-terminating. Why? Why is it non-terminating, children? Because other than 2 to the power 2, 5 to the power 7, it is also having 7 to the power 5 multiplied with it. So over here the decimal expansion will be non-terminating. The rest of the questions are your homework, children. Please do it, because these questions are also related to question number 2. Now let us see the next question number 2. Now, question number 2 is saying that whatever the terminating numbers we have got in question number 1, we have to write down the decimal expansion of those rational numbers. So over here, question number 2, in question number 1, the second and the ninth part are terminating. Okay, others you have to solve it on your own, I hope, and I'm sure that you will be able to do it. It's not anything hard. So over here we're going to solve 17 upon 8 by the division method. Alright, this is number 17 and this is number 8. Now this will go with 8 2s are 16. 1 will be the remainder, 0.0. 8 1s are 8. This comes 10 minus 8, 9, 10 to 0. Then we have 8 2s are 16, 8 3s are 24, 8 2s are 16. 20 minus 16, you have 4. Decimal is already present. Bring down 0. Over here write down 0. 8 5s are 40. And here your decimal expansion terminates. Okay. So over here 17 upon 8 can be written as 2.125. Next we move on to the ninth part of the first question, 35 upon 50. Now let us see. This is number 35. This is number 50. Now 50 is greater than 35. So over here we will take the decimal first of all. 0 over here. Now 57 is 350. Isn't it? 57 is 350. Here your decimal expansion stops. So 35 upon 50 can be written as 0.7. Is that clear? The rest of the questions are also very easy. Same as it is, you have to solve it. Let us move on to question number 3. Now, the last question is, the following real numbers have decimal expansions as given below. In each case, decide whether they are rational or not. If they are rational and of the form p by q, what can you say about the prime factors of q? So let us see the first one, children. It is very obvious that the number 43.123456789, it is a terminating one, isn't it? You can see that at number 9 the decimal expansion has been terminated. So over here, what happens when decimal expansion is terminated? What can we say about these type of numbers? That yes, they are rational numbers. Firstly, they are rational numbers. Secondly, that their decimal expansion is terminating. Thirdly, if their decimal expansion is terminating, then q can be written in the form of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n. So over here we are going to write rational, decimal expansion is terminating. Rational, why? Because the decimal expansion is terminating. And when we have already learnt in the theorem that when the decimal expansion is terminating, p upon q, where q is not equals to 0, q will be in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Is that clear? Next we move on to the second one. 0.120, 1200, 12000, 124 times 0 and so on. Over here, see children, one thing I will like to make it clear, that these numbers are non-terminating, because over here the dot signs are given, so this is non-terminating, but naturally they are not repeating. If you watch clearly, this is 120, this is 1200, 1200, 12000, 124 times 0. So naturally there is a sort of pattern, but the numbers are not getting repeated. If it had been non-terminating repeating, if we talking about irrational numbers, okay, then it would have been 120, 120, 120, 120 and so on. But this is not the case over here. The numbers are non-terminating as well as non-repeating. So what type of numbers are, what type of number is this? This is an irrational number. Okay, this is an irrational number. These type of decimal expansions we see in irrational numbers only. And if it is an irrational number, then there is no question of how p upon q, how it can be written in the form of p by q, because irrational numbers are not denoted in the form of p by q. Next we have 43.12345678 bar. Now what does this bar mean, children? That means 43.123456789. After 9 again it will be repeated as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Again 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and so on. So you see children how it is different from the second one. Of course there is a pattern. Over here also there is a pattern. But over here these numbers are not repeating. Okay, over here the numbers, that means from 1 to 9, again from 1 to 9, again from 1 to 9, it will keep on repeating, and this is non-terminating. Okay, and definitely yes, this is a rational number. This is a rational number, but the decimal expansion over here, the decimal expansion is not terminating. We will write decimal expansion is non-terminating. The decimal expansion is non-terminating. Okay, and whenever the decimal expansion is non-terminating, with theorem 1.7 we have learned that whenever the decimal expansion is non-terminating, then it cannot be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. What cannot be written? Q cannot be written. Okay. So over here we are going to write rational number. This rational number is definitely in the form of p by q, but q is not equal to 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. It cannot be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n, or just simply 2 to the power n, or just simply 5 to the power n. Is that clear? So the first one is a rational number. If the decimal expansion is terminating, and whenever the decimal expansion is terminating, then it can be written, the q can be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. But over here, this is also a rational number, but the decimal expansion is non-terminating. And when the decimal expansion is non-terminating, then q, it cannot be written in the form of 2 to the power n, 5 to the power n. And this is an irrational number, so there is no question of writing it in the form of p by q. I hope this chapter is very clear to you all children. Next, we will move on to the next chapter. But till then, please practice these questions, and I will give you extra questions also to solve this other than the NCERT book. So please, if you have any doubt, kindly WhatsApp me, or you can call me for the explanation for your clearing of doubts. Okay. Thank you children for watching this video.